Well, good morning and happy Wednesday. We've hit midweek. It's our Wellness Wednesday, and we've come in studio for you for a few reasons. We're going to give you wellness talk with regards to how you take care of yourself. And when you think of saunas, hot tubs, spas, do you think from a luxury standpoint, or do you think like I long have, and that is to incorporate it into an aspect of wellness from athletes to illnesses to trauma? I want you to load up your questions. I had a handful of people writing me last night saying, I am so excited about this topic. Great. Well, I hope you're watching live this morning and you can ask questions to Angie. More importantly, I want you to welcome her to the Real Monica Adams Show. We told you the list of sponsors continues to grow, and that is because a lot of the businesses are wanting to align their brand, their mission with ours because we are connecting positivity and we're connecting wellness. So, breaking news for you if you didn't see my reels and my stories last night, that Spas and More, which is here in our St. Louis area, they are our latest sponsor. So congratulations to them. They are growing and growing, and we're going to grow with them. Can't wait to introduce you to the owner, Angi Hess, coming up here in just a few minutes. Now, for those of you that think hot tubs, hot weather, do they go together? They actually do. And we're going to talk about contrast therapy and how maybe you go from one hotter situation to a colder situation. Cold plunges, yes, saunas, hot tubs, all of that. We'll discuss that. Now, with regards to the hotter weather, I want you to be careful today. We're going to start off with our weather. We're not going to do it anywhere near as good as our wonderful Beckett Moore does, but we take care of you Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday when he isn't with us. He's with us on Mondays and Fridays, and so he'll join us here again in a couple of days. Here's your forecast for today. It's going to be a hot one, and I want you to really watch the heat index. We're talking about a heat index, so a real feel, anywhere from 102. Some of the meteorologists talking about 105. We've got a 20% chance of a storm and 94 for the actual temperature. 76 for the low tonight. Tomorrow, 40% chance of rain and storms, and that actually continues into Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Now, the percentage actually goes down in through Monday, but still possibility of some storms popping up. 88 for a high on Thursday, 86 on Friday, Saturday 90, Sunday 92, Monday 92, and then look at next week. Dry conditions, and right there, three letters, HOT. Just get used to it. 95 on Tuesday, 96 on Wednesday, Thursday 96, Friday 95, and the Cardinals in action, by the way, back in St. Louis next Thursday and Friday. Those are going to be some hot games, and we're going to talk about athletes and the dangerous aspect when they're putting on all those pads. They're doing their training, they're doing their practices. For any of you that have kids that are doing summer activities, please take care of them. Coaches as well. In fact, we have a story in the news. We hear this a lot. While it may not be right here in our St. Louis area, I always want to take care of those all around the United States and outside in other countries. So when we talk about hot weather and we're talking about kids passing out, being dehydrated, we've got one of the stories for you this morning. This is a high school football player that actually ended up in the ICU after he passed out at practice. It happened in Arlington, Tennessee. He's a 16-year-old, and he was hospitalized in the intensive care unit for days after he passed out at practice. Joshua Henderson, he was playing at Bolton High School, being treated for a heat-related illness, and his mother says he passed out on the football field during practice last Monday. The family's lives have completely changed. He was placed on a breathing machine. His mother said he's a different person. Pain, anger, hurt. That's the feelings that she describes that the entire family went through. She was at home when she received the call, and imagine, this panic call that's coming to you as a mother at home. She said, by the time I got to the hospital, my son's in the back of an ambulance, barely fitting on the gurney, lethargic, eyes closed, barely able to breathe. Doctors say the cause of the incident was, in fact, heat exhaustion and dehydration. And it's when you're extremely dehydrated, your body's still sweating a little bit. You're able to communicate and talk, maybe a little bit lethargic or tired. Your temperature, though, is usually under 103 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's the heat-related injuries, and they're saying they are incredibly serious. So you've got to pay attention to these symptoms, and you've got to take care of yourself. I mean, I remember playing sports when I was younger, grade school, high school, always making sure that the coaches were coming over, giving us proper hydration. Remember the oranges they would have on the sidelines? I hope those things are all being taken care of. But remember, depending on the sport and more equipment on them, it really puts them in danger. So hoping that we can send some prayers out to him and anyone else that's ever been affected with something on those lines. All right, continuing the story, this time Governor Kehoe signing a bill here in Missouri focused on farmer health and water preservation, hearing implant coverage, water documentation, and prenatal test all included in the bills, Senate Bills 79 and 82, focusing on health and medical items. So the Senate Bill 79, the governor's office said, creates a regulatory framework for health benefit contracts for certain organizations, access to telehealth services through audio calls, and prenatal testing protocols to align with current medical standards and ensure timely care for expectant mothers. And then the Bill 89 focuses on water, the bill crafting requirements on water preservation and creating a regulatory framework for exporting Missouri waters. The bill text states it is now unlawful for anyone to take out water for exportation by use of a pipeline facility unless it's within 30 miles of a state border. And the office of the governor claims this legislation will preserve and protect Missouri's water resources for agriculture, commercial, and even municipal use. We also have a food safety lab that's coming to our St. Louis area. So a lot of our news this morning focusing on health and wellness. And it's just ironic since this is our Wellness Wednesday. This new lab in North St. Louis County is aiming to boost food safety with cutting edge testing and a staff of more than 70 scientists. So also bringing jobs to the area. It will be located, by the way, just south of the University of Missouri St. Louis and Interstate 70. And the opening to unveil their 5-point strategy will be to improve testing, reduce salmonella, empower inspectors to enforce safety standards. So excited. The staff will include more than 70 scientists, by the way, and support personnel. Every employee from the previous USDA facility on Goodfellow will be moving to this new lab. Well, this is interesting. And again, staying in the health theme, you've probably heard of Narcan. Have you ever thought of it going to a vending machine? Well, this is reality, folks. St. Louis County actually debuting their naloxone vending machine. So that is naloxone known by the brand name Narcan. It's that medication that reverses the effects of an opioid overdose. And they have here in St. Louis County rolled out this new resource. The machines were launched through its new I Carry for My Community campaign, aiming to expand access to opioid overdose reversal medication. The vending machines, by the way, will have initial locations at Beyond Housing, which is on Page Avenue, Dollar General on North Hanley, Northwest Airport Inn on North Lindbergh, Cutton Heads Hair Center on Howdershell, Recovery Housing, as well as River Rock Church, and most likely more to come. Well, we always like to make sure that you're up to date on any recalls. This time it might be an icy treat for you that you need to check out for in your freezer. All flavors, sizes of Yo Crunch yogurt are being recalled over a choking risk. The potential presence of plastic pieces in the dome toppers. That's why we're seeing this recall. The maker says it has received complaints about plastic pieces in the toppers, which could cause consumers to choke. They're described as transparent, sharp edges on them between 7 and 25 millimeters long. The company says it's working to address the issue. I'm going to give you a consumer care line that you can call for a refund. It is 877-344 4886. The toppers are separately packaged. The yogurt itself should not be affected, but they are advising consumers who have the recalled products to either throw them out or, again, if you want that refund, it's 877-344-4886. Well, if you go to Six Flags St. Louis, a chaperone policy is coming back in place. I didn't even know they had this. Yeah, they're bringing it back for you. And Six Flags says guests 15 years old and younger will need to be accompanied by a parent, a guardian, or an adult who is at least 21 years old to enter or remain in the park. The policy will be in place from 4 p.m. to when the park closes, and they are reactivating this actually starting tomorrow. Guests 15 and under without a chaperone will be removed. Interesting. Each chaperone can accompany no more than 10 guests, and those chaperones have to present a valid ID. They will need to accompany their party during entry, remain inside the park for the entire visit, and be reachable by phone at all times. All right, I had no clue they were doing that. Are you interested at all in the Emmys? Some people are when you come to movies, entertainment. Well, there's some snubs and there's some surprises that we're going to tell you about. Let's start off with the nominations of the surprises. Jake Gyllenhaal for Presumed Innocent, Megan Fahey for Sirens, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives are saying these are all surprises. Sharon Horgan for Bad Sisters, and Jeff Hiller with Somebody Somewhere. Some of the snubs, though, was Steve Martin, Only Murders in the Building, also Squid Game, La Machina, as well as Pachinko, and Everybody's Live with John Mulaney, Black Doves as well. So those are some of the snubs. The 77th Primetime Emmy Awards will air in September on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It'll be on September 14th. So always interesting to see what they recommend we see and don't see at the movie theaters. In sports news, the Chiefs just inching out on this one, like literally just minutes away from the deadline before they sign. And this is the guard Trey Smith. They signed to a 4-year, and this is huge, $94 million deal. The Chiefs beat the franchise tag deadline. His average salary will be $23.5 million annually, making Smith the highest paid player at that position in the NFL. And again, we always say, if you can get it, good for you. In sports news for the Cardinals, again, the All-Star break's been going on. I mentioned that in town, the Cardinals will be back, not this weekend, but the following, but they are on the road. The Cardinals will be playing the Diamondbacks on Friday, and first pitch will be at 8:40. And as we wrap up, telling you about our National Day of Calendar, not a huge list today, but a few for you. National AI Day, whether you think it's a good thing or a bad thing, I believe it is taking over. Corn Fritters Day, National Personal Chef Day, and we should be having Steve Ewing on today because it is his day. National Hot Dog Day on a hot dog day of summer. Jenny, who is our wonderful moderator and my assistant, she's taking care of a bunch of things for you at home. Zach Kimball is directing for you. Jenny will tell you that Chat GPT has become one of her best friends. So Jenny, today is National AI Day for you and everyone else. Good morning, Julie, Fabian. I hope you're having a great start to your day. Everybody else, just like Julie did, feel free to drop in a question or a comment as you are signing on this morning. We're going to look at all the different platforms, make sure we don't miss anybody. We are on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X, Rumble, and LinkedIn. All the platforms there for you. And if we're not on a platform and you would like for us to be, just shoot me an email at info@therealmonicaadams.com. Well, once again, we're talking about how our sponsors just keep growing and growing. And today we're going to introduce you to our latest. Her name is Angi Hess, and Angi is one of the owners of Spas and More, which is in South County. Today we're going to talk about, do you use hot tubs? Do you use sauna? How has it changed your life? And have you ever thought, what's the difference between wet saunas, infrared saunas? What's the best for you? We're going to talk with Angi about her own health struggles, not just her, but her father as well, and how this has truly helped her life. If you have any questions for her or comments live or later, be sure to drop them into those comments and we'll make sure you're heard. Stay with us. Angi Hess comes in studio when we return.
You don't have to be Michael Phelps to train like Michael Phelps. With the Michael Phelps Signature Swim Spa by Master Spas, world-class training and relaxation are perfect for anyone.
It's not necessary.
See these luxurious products at Spas and More in Chesterfield and Sunset Hills, or call us at 1-800-SPA-SALE.
Well, you know him as the GOAT, right? the greatest of all time. We're going to talk with our guest today about how they are implementing things that have to do with Michael and how it's really just exploded. I was thinking back to my days at Fox 2 when we first talked about swim spas, and everyone's like, what the heck is a swim spa? Where if you don't know, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about wet saunas, infrared saunas, hot tubs, not from a luxury standpoint, but from a wellness standpoint. How do you take care of yourself? And have you been thinking about pulling the trigger? Do you even know the ranges of what you should be looking for? We may not, but she does. Angi Hess. Let me introduce her, first of all, to the show. And for all of you, welcome her aboard because she is one of our latest sponsors with Spas and More. Angi, thanks for coming in.
Monica, it's great to be here.
I'm thrilled to have you. And you and I have been talking over the last week or so about how when people used to think of hot tubs as a luxury, that we needed to really change that mindset because it is life-changing when you start incorporating it more so from a wellness standpoint.
That's very true. Hot tubs provide a wide range of therapy options. I mean, hot water alone is therapy, but when you combine it with certain jets that hit muscle points, trigger points, it becomes a whole new experience, especially for anybody who has aches and pains, autoimmune disorders. Couple that with being able to exercise in a weightless environment with your swim spa or a cold plunge or anything to that nature. It just really gives you a nice, healthy benefit to boost your life.
Absolutely. And you and I were talking about how we share a similar background studying athletic training, sports medicine. So you're well aware from an athlete standpoint. I remember back when I was 15, the very first time I was ever put in an ice bath, and I was like, what the heck, But I felt immediately the benefits of it. So that mentality of the cold plunges, which we'll talk about here in just a second. Let's go back though. So the history of Spas and More, as we are welcoming you on board the show. Tell us about that.
So my dad started Spas and More back in 2006. Has been selling Master Spas now since 1996 when they first started. He was one of their first traveling salespeople. And he has built this business from taking over a local Master Spas dealer that was here previous called Total Leisure Concepts. And then we've turned it into what we have today, where we have our store in St. Louis and another location in Overland Park, Kansas.
And it's right now, we're going to talk about the transition of from your dad to you, but your father, you, and then what is Brian's last name?
Oldham.
And he's going to become an owner as well, right?
Yes. So currently my dad still owns everything. And as he has been attempting to decide about retiring, then Brian and I will be partnering and taking over the business once he decides that he is finally ready to give it up.
And there's Dad and Brian right there. So again, from a wellness and a health standpoint, let's talk about your own personal stories. And all of you, feel free to share anything or ask her questions of, hey, well, I have this. Would this type of situation, the saunas, the spas, would that actually help me? First of all, your father, it's a form of dementia that he suffers from. Is that right?
Yes. So he was recently diagnosed with microvascular degeneration in his brain, which they call it vascular dementia. So it presents him with issues of his brain not being able to process the way it used to. So we have days with memory issues, days with confusion, that combined with dealing with peripheral neuropathy in both of his feet for the last 7 years now. So his health is slowly deteriorating, unfortunately, but we do everything that we can to keep him moving forward with exercise, eating right, to not make it so terrible, I guess, in respect.
And you were telling me a story. I mean, he was actually on the job and was delivering a hot tub and ended up hurting himself. But was it a little bit of a delay that had happened in his care that kind of led to where he is now?
It is. He was at a customer's house and slid down a hill, hurting his leg. When he got to the emergency room, they didn't do a whole lot for him because they didn't have an orthopedist working that day. So they just put a brace in it, told him to contact an orthopedic surgeon on Monday, got him home. Unfortunately, he had another fall. hurting the other leg. So by the time we got him to the hospital the next day, he had torn the patella tendon on both of his legs that had attached his quadricep muscle to his uh, patella. So he had to completely have them reattached, had to have pins and X fixtures put in, and then learn to walk again.
Oh my goodness. Well, during that time of what he was going through, did he start using some of the products that you all sell? And if so, I'm sure he did. How did it help him?
So once he was able to get off of out of the wheelchair and using walker and doing some physical therapy, found that moving in the swim spa was actually the best therapy for him. Coupled with trying to rebuild muscle because he had so much atrophy in his legs at that time. It was very hard to do traditional, like just walking down the sidewalk, taking walks, trying to build that strength back up by being able to use the swim spa to not only walk against the current, but also just to be able to hold himself and kick his legs and get that movement in without the chance of falling.
Right.
Was actually very beneficial for him.
Again, if you're just tuning in, Angi Hess introducing you to her today. You'll probably see her a lot here over the next year. She has joined us here on the Real Monica Adams Show, and it just was like-minded synergy that right away when she heard that I wanted to focus more on the wellness side. I had a hot tub for 15 years, and I'm going to tell you right now, it changed my life. Jim knows as soon as we moved into this house, which I can't believe. I was driving in this morning, Angie, and I was like, it's been 9 years without a hot tub. It's too long. So we came in to take all these videos of all, and we're going to talk about all the different levels that you have. But right away I was like, okay, which one? Because we're getting one. And he was like, well, I like this one. I'm like, no, but I like this one. So it's hard. My eye first, from a fashion standpoint, is drawn to color. So I picked one of the color ones, but I actually ironically, I picked one of them that I think is very interesting that we'll talk about here in just a little bit. But I want you all to welcome her on board because, again, she has joined our show. They, I should say, have joined our show from Spas and More. So tell everybody, first of all, where you're located.
So we are located, technically it's Old Gravois Road. It's at the corner of Ronning and Gravois in Sunset Hills, right before it's going into Fenton down from Faith Church.
Yes. And again, they've been there for you for a long time. I actually told Angie, I said, I was here before. I was here in my old house. And again, I was like, it was meant to be that I was brought back to you. So again, the thing that I love on so many levels is what you're providing to the world from a wellness standpoint, but also when I came in and I was taking these videos, it is how proud you are of Made in the USA.
Yes. Master Spas is located in Fort Wayne, Indiana. We are the largest manufacturer of hot tubs and swim spas in the United States. We're actually the largest manufacturer of swim spas nationwide and globally. It started out when Fort Wayne Pools sold their spa division to Bob Lauder in 1996. We're still on the initial campus at Fort Wayne Pools and have built from there.
Oh, congratulations again, continuing to grow and grow. I mean, right there, when you look at that and you kind of listen, it is peaceful. It is serene. And Angie, we all need to de-stress. And one of the greatest ways to do so is making that a part of your life. I'm very big on wake up in the morning, hydrate yourself, make sure you're eating well, eating clean, move, take care of the mind. And when people think of meditating and praying, there's, to me, no better place to do it than relaxing outside and listening to the water. There's something about water therapy.
It's very relaxing. When you're coupling that type of relaxation moment with some meditation, you're just basically recentering yourself, getting that focus back on. A lot of people think of it as just being, oh, I have a hot tub, so it's kind of a neat thing to hang out, but you don't really realize that the benefit of quote unquote hanging out in your hot tub, whether it be by yourself or with your significant other, family, it's actually a way to reset your mind, your body, and to take care of yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Julie just said, I used to have a hot tub. I loved it. Used to, past tense. It's like me, Julie. We got to change that, right? We got to make those changes. And this is the thing also, Angie, if people hear the words hot tub, sauna, they might think, oh, it's, again, a luxury side. I can't afford it. One of the things that I loved, and we have a lot of videos to show so many different sizes. You even have one, I've never ever even seen the shape of it, but it's like, is it a 2-person one or three? Is it 2 or 3-person where it's kind of like this? It's also for people who feel like that they don't have the space to fit it into.
Right. The Twilight 240X is the corner unit. It's sits 2 to 3 people, too comfortably. It gives you all the therapy benefits of the larger hot tub in that small little package. The wonderful big jets, especially the Master Blaster Foot Jet, is great for people who have neuropathy, like my dad, plantar fasciitis. They have problems with their Achilles heel, Achilles tendon, shin splints, because you're getting a nice big volume of water that is coming up, but it's not so pressurized that you can't stand it, because it has 14 nozzles in it that gives you a nice broad range of massage therapy.
And the jets have changed so much over the years. I mean, as well as the shapes that are inside, and whether people want to have where everybody's upright or lounging. I used to think that I didn't want a lounging one because I thought it took up space, but I see those more and more. If you looked at the percentage of what people have purchased, are they more into wanting that lounge chair?
First-time buyers especially go after that lounger. The nice thing about Master Spas and the way that they built their loungers is they're more ergonomically designed. So most people kind of go away from a lounger because they tend to float. Women, unfortunately, are going to float 99% of the time just because of our body composition.
Right.
However, the changes in the lounges that we've made over the years is become more ergonomic, changing your center of gravity, lowering your butt below your hips to kind of prevent that floating aspect that you're getting. But not only that, the lounges vary to where you can change your air pressure so that you can change your water coming out of your jets. There's so many variations to get a very nice massage and not completely blow you out. So we do sell more lounges, especially to first-time hot tub buyers. A lot of our second-time hot tub buyers may or may not go back to the lounge. It just depends on how often they're using it.
I might be exactly the opposite, because when we had ours years ago, they didn't have that. Now that I see that as a possibility, it just, for me, always was like, am I going to go into the water if I lay down? Is my head going to be in the water? That was what I was originally thinking. Jim actually noted on a couple of these that you have, some of them are just like full on, kind of like you think of a Chase lounge where this part is just solid, but there's some that contour leg to leg. That's, I thought, kind of interesting. Is that newer?
So yes, when we partnered with Michael Phelps back in 2012, Master Spas became partners with Michael, because he at that time was looking for a competitive edge. He had just got silver in his signature event at the Olympics. Obviously, we know he wasn't happy about that at all, because when it comes to the butterfly, he is gold medal all the way. So he started taking looks at swim spas across the board. Ended up focusing with Master Spa, and then we created the Michael Phelps Signature Swim Spa. That partnership has now turned into a line of hot tubs called the Michael Phelps Legends Series, that's designed for not only relaxation, but athletic recovery. That's the one where you saw the lounger that had the contours and the jets going completely down the legs. Is designed for those athletes, runners especially, to be able to recoup, to get their muscles to bounce back after a run or after a marathon or anything that they're doing. And then it's also evolved into our cold plunge tubs and our infrared saunas, because Michael, as you know, has done everything to train to become the top swimmer in the world. And then, but the other side of Michael is his mental health issues that he's had.
Yes.
His ADHD that he had growing up. We know him for his infamous picture with the bong, and we know him for his DUI in between Olympics. But there's a side to him that we've been fortunate to find out and learn from him about his mental health struggles, and how not only does swimming help him, but cold plunging and using the saunas help him as well.
Oh, and we're going to break all of that down, by the way, of what are the benefits of cold plunging? Is there anybody that maybe should not be doing it? How does it benefit you? What about the contrast therapy aspect? And are you even familiar with what Angie's talking about with regards to the swim spa? When I was going through and taking all the videos and looking at all the different hot tubs and then seeing the swim spa, I mean, they're massive. I had to get up on the riser to take some of the videos and shoot downward. We're going to take a break. Angi Hess, again, one of the owners of Spas and More, again, just off of Old Gravoy and Ronning Road as you're heading into Old Fenton. That's where they're located. I want you to stop in. So if you've been thinking about pulling the trigger with regards to a sauna, to cold plunge, to a hot tub, this is where I want you to go. Again, brand new sponsor of our show. And please do me a favor, welcome them aboard. We'll take a break. We'll look at any questions or comments you have. I have one from a lady who, I don't know if she was able to watch live this morning, but she said, if I can't hop on, please ask her about the wet sauna to the infrared sauna and how high should it be higher. She had a lot of questions. So we'll get to hers, and anybody else, feel free to drop it in right now. We'll have more with Angi when we return. Welcome to the mobile Monica version of the Real Monica Adams Show at my favorite restaurant. There's something about a coffee house that's just very warm and welcoming.
Gives you that sense of community.
What are you most proud of since you've opened it?
I cry easily. I'm thankful for everybody here.
You opened the door during the middle of the pandemic. You got the best Italian restaurant in the United States. Here in St. Louis, you put us on the map. Does it scare you? You go through fear?
Terrifying.
So how do you get past the fear?
We find something to laugh about.
And welcome back again. You're tuned into the Real Monica Adams Show live. The beauty is, if you have to rush off anywhere and you've got questions, you want to come back, just do a little hashtag replay or drop your question in now. You can always come back and see it. That is what I love about streaming. So thank you all that are dropping in comments or questions. Babs, good morning to you. Love having you on. Rose, I love the kindness that you showed to Jenny, saying, Jenny, you're great at your job. Yes, she is. She's taking care of all of you. She welcomed you on board. Zach's welcomed you on board. I'm sure everybody else, once you hear, oh my gosh, somebody said last night, yay, another new sponsor. I was like, yes, I know. I love it. We are connecting all of our missions. Rose just said, just talking. And again, you hear, and you hear some of the water that's kind of trickling from the spa. Just talking about it is making me feel better. She said, I have RA and osteoarthritis. There's nothing better than hot water hitting my body. They are so beneficial. Absolutely. And Angie's going to share her own story. Stephanie said, welcome, Angie. Spas are wonderful. Yes, they absolutely are. So you have fibromyalgia as well as a lot of other things.
Yes, I do. So I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia in 2012. It actually kind of came on suddenly after my divorce, which we all know emotional triggers
Stress.
can have that
Yeah.
stuff happen. And then later on found out that not only did I have fibromyalgia, but I have mixed connective tissue disorder,
Okay.
which is basically a combination of several autoimmune disorders, but not one in particular that gives you the whole shebang to say, yes, it's 100% this. So my ANA markers are systemic lupus, psoriatic arthritis, and ulcerative colitis. So I can get flares of just varying aspects of it, but nothing's like 100% saying, well, yes, you have full-blown lupus, or yes, you have full-blown this. What I have found in combination with some of my medications and changing to a healthier diet and a little healthier lifestyle is being able to use a cold plunge to help with inflammation, to be able to use the hot tub when my joints are too stiff to move. The infrared sauna helps stimulate the red blood cells, which helps lowers your inflammation. Combination of all of those things have actually made it so I can move a lot better. I can spend multiple days without having too much joint pain, just depending on how I'm feeling and what needs to be done.
So with what you're going through and anybody else that is, saying, oh my gosh, this is me. I'm going through these things at home. How will this be beneficial for me? So depending on the day, do you choose different aspects of therapy or do you actually do a combination? Because we're going to kind of talk about what contrast therapy is and what would be most beneficial for someone that has inflammation or is suffering from things like this.
So for myself, it depends on exactly what I'm feeling or how I'm feeling. But ultimately, a combination of one to two things. Like it may be a cold plunge in the morning and then being able to finish up with a sauna before I go home. Or if it's on a weekend, being able to spend time exercising in the swim spa because I can't go walk on the treadmill because it hurts too much. And then being able to finish that off with sitting in the sauna just to help reduce that inflammation. When you're dealing with health issues, it weighs heavily on the mind because you don't understand, why you're like this, what happened, and why you can't do the things that you used to do.
Right. I'm sure that, again, that doesn't just affect you physically, that affects you mentally, spiritually of, I want my body to do what it's supposed to do, but it's not doing it for me. And I need a little assistance. Angi Hess, one of the owners of Spas and More. We went into the break talking about swim spas. Some people may not even know what that is. They've been around for a little while now, but it still might be new to you. So what is the difference between a swim spa and a typical spa?
So a swim spa is essentially you're swimming against a current, whether it's jetted, whether it's propulsion driven. You are swimming against resistance. So it's not designed for you to do sprint swims or anything like that. It's designed for slow, steady training.
Okay.
For rehab purposes. If you're not a swimmer, that's okay. Because when you're doing anything in water resistance, it is nothing taking strain off of your body, first of all, but giving you that water resistance. You can do Zumba. You can, you can just, all of our swim spas come with exercise equipment, rowing arms, resistance bands. Being able to do all of those things in water resistance, it gives you the benefits similar to working out with hand weights or wearing like a weighted vest or ankle weights because is giving that resistance to your body.
And you're looking at it right there. If someone is getting a swim spa and they're like, okay, I'm thinking of this because it's a little less expensive than putting an entire pool in my backyard. Are the jets constantly on or can you have them off or they can just relax inside the water?
You can have the jets off and you can just throw a pool floaty in the middle of the summer and use it as a big swimming pool. The biggest thing that I see with when people are coming down to that swim spa versus pool choice is that you only generally have 4 months of a year that you can use a pool. A swim spa you can use year round because you can take that temperature up to that 104-degree mark, just like a hot tub, and use it in the winter. We have some great videos of our customers with the first snowfall, and they're out in their swim spa hanging out,
Nothing better.
catching snowflakes on their tongue. So it's always a wonderful thing to see, but you can use that year round to have that relaxation and that therapy right in your backyard.
And I want you to follow Spas and More, by the way, on social because they have one picture that I don't know if you had a client that sent it into you, but it's a dog on a float. And it was like that dog is enjoying the swim spa as well.
I've had one customer who purchased their swim spa for the specific reason of physical therapy and rehabbing their dog.
Really? Interesting.
So getting them in the swimming because animals need rehab too. And again, water therapy is usually the best way to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're talking about, we'll grab it for you. Zach's actually grabbing it right now and we'll put it up for you. It made me laugh because I was like, yes, they want to be involved anyway. So if you have a pool right now, like we do from our other sponsor, Just Pools, and I love this because we've got the pools and now we've got the spa aspect and it's just everybody just like-minded, small businesses lifting up small business because people then say, well, now I want to add a little bit more. Again, from the therapeutic side, if you don't have one, your life will truly change. What about The saunas, though, the saunas. This is the big question that Danielle had actually asked me last night to say, Monica, ask her the difference between wet and infrared. And then it was also, she's like, can they build certain ones? She's like, I've heard different things about how they should be this temperature, that temperature. She was so confused by a lot of it. This is our expert. So let's ask. There's the picture, by the way. What's that dog's name? Do you by chance know, or is this just a customer of yours?
It was just a customer who had his little dog out.
It's so cute. It's so very cute. Okay, so if you're just tuning in, Angi Hess, one of the owners again of Spas and More, breaking things down for us, but also answering any questions that you have, or if you just want to be kind and show her some love and welcome her aboard, please do so. If you are just tuning in, they are our latest sponsor with Spas and More, again in the Old Gravois Ronning Road area. So from the saunas, can we answer that? So wet sauna to infrared, and what is the difference?
So with a wet sauna, it's hot rock, you're pouring water on it to generate steam. A steam sauna can be very refreshing. However, it's only topical as far as when you're talking about getting out impurities and everything. The biggest proponent to a steam sauna, though, is the wetness. And if you have any kind of lung issues, if you have asthma, if you have COPD, emphysema, that wet sauna is actually can cause you more issues and possibly lead into a pneumonia situation because you're inhaling that wetness and it's causing constriction on your lungs. And essentially, it takes your breath away initially, but having constantly breathing in that moist air is not good and not conducive to those people who have those kind of breathing issues.
Interesting.
In comparison to an infrared saunas can go up to 160 degrees and it is a dry heat. You don't feel hot when you're sitting in that sort of environment, even though it is 120, 130, 140 degrees, and you're actually causing yourself to sweat from within. So it takes you longer to actually sweat, but it's pulling it from your subcutaneous layers of your skin, drawing everything up to the top, and you're sweating out your toxins. It's bringing your red blood cells to the surface to reduce inflammation, to help free up your joints. Those sort of things you don't get that benefit from that wet sauna because, again, you're getting that instant gratification of a steam and a wet,
feeling.
You're feeling, you're sweating. It's like, okay, yeah, that's great. But you're not actually getting health benefits from it.
Interesting. So you just mentioned 120 to 160. When someone's first getting this, bringing it into their home or the outside area, do you recommend that they kind of inch their way up? Or do you say start here at this temperature and then go up? Or what's your recommendations?
So really, you want to kind of sit in the sauna as it's gradually climbing temperature.
Okay.
So once you initially turn it on, you're going to want to get it up to about 100 or so degrees, which generally takes about 10 to 15 minutes, depending on the temperature of the room it's in. And then you're going to sit in there, and as it's climbing up, your body is acclimating itself and building up with that temperature. Generally, you can sit in there for 15 to 20 minutes to start with, but go almost up to an hour. It's really wonderful as far as for people who are wanting to meditate. The ones that we have also have chromotherapy lighting attached to them, so you can enhance your mood by changing the color of lighting, whether it's red or like purple for relaxation. Green helps stimulate the mind. Couple that with a few drops of essential oil in the diffuser that's already in there. So you can use citrus to help purify your pores, and it's just the overall general experience. And you kind of walk out of there almost feeling like you've ran a mile or more, because it is actually increasing your heart rate as well as you're doing it. It's similar to a cardio workout.
Well, that has changed a lot over the years because, let's think about going to a resort and you're going to the spa for the day, right? And you have a massage and they're like, oh, well, we've got the sauna. And then it always was the sign of not being in there more than 15, 20 minutes. This has definitely evolved and changed so much. Again, if you're just tuning in, Angi Hess, welcome her aboard, Spas and More. And we're giving you all the information on where where they're located. Follow them. You can see all the different specials they have. You can see what's right for you. The best bet, though, is to actually go into their showroom. Again, located off of Old Gravois, right at Ronning Road. The address is 12957 Gravois Road in that Sunset Hills area. 9 to 5, by the way, Monday through Saturday. They are closed on Sunday. So if you want to take a little tour, we're showing you the pictures and the videos today, but nothing does it justice like getting in and seeing what could be right for you. Okay, let's transition into the cold plunges. Again, it's become very popular. Everywhere I look now, athletes having these small ones at their house, where it used to be that you were going to like a athletic training facility or you were working hand in hand with maybe a physical therapist. It was never at their homes. Now, do you think, is that what percentage of your business is in the cold plunges? Yours is called the Chili Goat.
Yes. So we offer, it is actually, the Chili Goat is a standalone 100% water ice free, because you actually has a chiller system in it. So you can take the water down to as low as 40 degrees, but you can also use it as a hot tub and bring it up to 104 if you want to. Currently, I'm saying 1% probably of our business is still the cold plunge because it's still new.
Right.
And it's a very specific customer who is looking at it. However, we are seeing that it's becoming popular for somebody to buy a cold plunge with their hot tub, or, you know, they're buying a sauna, a cold plunge, and a hot tub because they're going for that ultimate relaxation and therapy at their home. The nice thing with cold plunges, what it's doing for you on a health side, is it stimulates your vagus nerve. When you stimulate that nerve, it actually activates your parasympathetic nervous system, and then it's helping give you an increased energy, kind of like releasing your endorphins. Then it's also stimulating your metabolism. So it's getting everything going. Cold plunge first thing in the morning before you grab that cup of coffee. You probably won't need that cup of coffee afterwards because you'll be ready to go. Myself, the very first time I cold plunged, I had actually been working 35 days in a row. It was show season. I hadn't had a day off. My body was absolutely hating me at that time.
I bet.
Swollen knees, swollen feet, hips just on fire. Spent 5 minutes in the cold plunge. For the next 48 hours, I could move more freely than I had been able to move in months. You could actually see the tendons across my feet because there was absolutely no swelling.
It's amazing.
Yes, it is. So.
Okay, I mean, absolutely life-changing for you. So for those of you that are at home and have been for weeks, months, years, suffering, and I use that word because that's truly what I hear in a lot of you, suffering through pain and trauma, the question is why, when there's something like this available to you. So I'm going to take a break. People are probably going, all right, well, but what's the price range? Like, I've never thought I could afford something like this. We're going to show you a lot of videos as she and I talk through this to show you different sizes. Again, whether it's a 3, 5, what is the largest you have? Outside of the swim spa, what's the largest?
For a hot tub, it's 8 by 9.
Oh, okay. All right. And how many does that seat?
It'll seat anywhere from 6 to 8.
6 to 8 people. I know a lot of people try to cram more in.
It does, but you know, when you're looking at those, you really need to look at who's actually using it, and do you really like that person a whole lot to be that close to them?
All right, more with Angi Hess when we return.
Carroll House Furniture Homes look the best because of our free design service. Our designers please your taste.
Let's reimagine your room with 50 brand name choices.
We'll create a 3D design with a 360 view for your room.
Free design services are just the beginning. Free 0% financing, fast free delivery and setup, and the guaranteed lowest prices in the country with no stipulations.
You'll get a perfect custom floor plan for your new dream room.
Carroll House Design, because you like nice things.
When you want to feel good, you work out at Crunch. You don't go here, because here feels bad. But here we help you feel good, feel strong, feel rejuvenated.
Join Crunch Fitness today.
You know, we just talked about the fact that we have two incredible sponsors that I really would love to introduce to each other if they haven't met yet, because it really is hand in hand when someone is thinking, well, you know what? Now I've got the hot tub, or now I've got the cold plunge, or now I got the sauna, but Maybe I want to add, now I want a pool. Well, then they are the ones, Just Pools, that can take care of you. That is their actual pool. When you drive down 55 and you look over on the on the outer road in Arnold, that you say, oh my gosh, I would love to have that in my backyard. Well, if it's time for you to pull the trigger, then please support those that support us. Madonna and her team have been with us since last year. Just Pools. Again, I'm going to be running up there today because my pool, ours, I should say, has just started turning a little green. I think it's from all the rain and the humidity we have. I just put a bunch of shock in it. I put pH up in it. But see, they are the specialists, and they're going to say, Monica, this is what's wrong. Great. Then you get the chemicals, which they have 10% off right now, and then you take care of it. 636-464-7110. That's their phone number. And it is 3987 West Outer Road South in Arnold. Just Pools, and they are those pool specialists for you. Angi Hess, who is the owner of Spas and More, she gets it. You got to take care of that water. People can't just get one of these beautiful hot tubs and just go, okay, do your thing. No, you got to take care of it as well. And of course, you've got all the spa products that we need.
Yes. Oh, yes. The one nice thing about Master Spas is the fact that it is minimal maintenance. I don't think we ever discussed that. Master Spas patented back in the year 2000 the EcoPure mineral filter.
Okay.
What that mineral filter does is it allows you to use less chemical. People like that. It is a mineral filter. You're getting all of your water filtering through copper, zinc, minerals embedded into a filter. You're getting a softer water. You're getting a mineral water similar to like what you would see at a spa.
Okay.
Versus actually having it highly chemicalized. You're adding chlorine on a weekly basis, not a daily basis. So you don't get that pool smell. You don't get that dry skin. You can go hop in your hot tub right before bed and then just put your jammies on and crawl right in because you don't need to get that shower to get that ick off of you, so to speak. That's one of the things that makes Master Spas so much better than our competition because it's very easy to maintain.
Oh yeah, that's definitely different. That was not the case. I would get in the pool or the hot tub and then, okay, now I gotta get in the shower. And you're just like waterlogged.
Right.
Okay, we went into the break, and so I said, a lot of people might be thinking it, and right on cue, Rose actually said, okay, financing, ? So what is the range of prices, and is there financing available?
So our hot tubs start at about $7,000 and go up to about $18,000. That $18,000 is going to include the biggest, baddest Michael Phelps we have out there, the 900. And we have other tubs that are just 110 plug and plays that are on the lower end of our spectrum. Depending on what we're running special wise, those prices are just just basically a guideline.
Okay.
When we have our local sales events, that's when our factory gives us extra rebate dollars, so we can find you something that might be closer to the $6,000 range, saving you thousands of dollars depending on what we're looking at model wise.
Right.
And then as far as financing is concerned, we offer a 0% for 6-month plan, then with a fixed APR after that 6 months of 9.99 with no prepayment penalty. And it gives you a longer term because it is designed more for the swim spas, but it gives that way you have a more manageable monthly payment. We don't want you buying your product that you desperately need for your health and paying more than your car.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So yes, they can help you out with regards to that. As we're talking about the therapeutic side of it, it also becomes, all right, I want it for therapy, but now I want all the bells and whistles. So I've seen hot tubs over the years that have all the different lighting. I've seen them that have speaker systems in them, that have TVs in them. What little extra amenities do yours have?
So all of ours come standard with the EcoPure mineral filtration system. They all have LED lighting. They all have our ozone cleaning system, which is something that helps keep your lines free and clear from buildup, biofilm, things like that. Makes it easier to working with that mineral filter. Realistically, we've gotten away from the TVs because that just really
it creates problems.
It was
electrical
a big problem.
Panel issues.
It is, and getting us, and you can still get a sound system in them, but realistically, with the new Bose speakers and everything we have, it's not necessary.
Yep.
But everything in just a standard package, you have the beautiful LED lighting. in things that you want just right away.
I want Angie to talk about this one. I'm so glad Zach used this video. So we just saw the video right before it, which is the video that I took when I came in by myself. I had no idea that it had this roof that came all the way down. It's the top of it, and then raises all the way up. Tell us about this, Angie. It's amazing.
So this is the Covana automated cover. We have it for hot tubs and for swim spas. It is you turn a key, it raises, it lowers. This one here that we show on our hot tub is the Covana Oasis. So it has Orion LED lighting up in the top of it. You can put screens, shades, or the backdrop that we have on all three of the four sides to give you protection from bugs, to give you privacy, or just to kind of create your own little space. So it is a gazebo and a cover all in one.
It's genius. And so we actually were talking about the covers. I mean, they're kind of cumbersome, and you go to take them off, and you're like, okay, now where do I put this? Some of them have to where the cover comes up and it would stay there. That I was telling you the story about how that's the one that I had. I'm like, well, I don't want to just drop it on the ground. So it had this lift, and then it would just stay up. But my neighbor was like, do you not want to see me? Because it was on her side. And I'm like, no, not at all. I'm like, and it actually was kind of weird because it was just like there. Over here, people are all open. And then over here, you're like shoved up against us. That is absolutely genius. Okay, so if somebody was going to get something like that, and what is that one called?
It's the Covana Oasis.
Covana Oasis. So if they're saying, that's it, that's the one I want, what's that run us?
It's going to be right around $10,000. These are built in Canada. So they're designed to lift snow, lift ice.
Yeah.
It's the one cover you're going to buy that you're not going to ever need to replace. It has a weather stripping seal, so it sits down on top of the acrylic and seals. It keeps 100% of the heat inside. You're not going to have that like heat escaping depending on like what kind of cover you do have. Our Master Spa covers are all deluxe covers that doesn't allow the heat escape to either. But this just makes it a whole lot nicer. And if you are planning on putting a pergola or a gazebo over your hot tub when you get it, this might be a little bit better option simply because, you're just going to spend that cost anyway.
Yeah, it's all
and
encompassing.
It's just turning a key and it goes up and down.
You don't need to have that over the top of it. You already have it over the top of it. I honestly, I thought it was going to be a lot more than that. All of that is $10,000. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, folks, I had a hot tub that was $15,000 back 20 years ago that had nothing like that. So kudos to you. I love this partnership. Again, they carry Master Spas. They have been locked arm in arm with them. Love what they're doing. And in fact, one of the things that I want to talk about before we wrap up is the caring and the giving aspect of what you do. So there are certain models and there's different events and stuff that you have where you are giving back to many organizations.
Yes, so Master Spas has a program called Master Spa Cares. We as dealers can make a donation to that however we see fit. What we do is we donate $100 for every swim spa that we sell to Master Spa Cares, and then Master Spa uses it to help organizations. The Twilight series in particular was actually designed for our CEO, Bob Lauder's daughter, who has lupus, and sales from the Twilight goes to Lights of Lupus and the Vera Bradley Lupus Foundation. We are also, Master Spas also partners with St. Jude, and every year we do the St. Jude golf event and donate a Michael Phelps 900 to raise money there. Us personally, we were just part of the Topeka, Kansas St. Jude Dream Home and donated a Twilight 7.2, and we're getting ready to deliver that next week to the lucky winner out in Topeka, Kansas.
Is this the Twilight series that we're looking at here?
No, that is the Clarity.
And then was it the one that was?
It was the one, the gray one that, that you liked.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, again, there's so many of you. I'm actually drawn to that one though. That's got that brown kind of taupe marbling. What is that series? Because I got to come back and look at that one.
So that is actually the Clarity, but that color is Tuscan Sun, and you can get that on the Twilights as well.
Oh, okay, then there it is. That's a win-win for me right there.
But also some of the things that Master Spa does with their Master Spa Cares is they support the Michael J. Fox Parkinson Foundation. They support the Tunnel the Towers organization from 9/11. We do 2 big global sales event a year where we pick one particular organization that everything that we do that month, proceeds go to. In April, it was Lupus Foundation. I'm not sure what September is going to bring us, but we've done St. Jude, we have done Michael J. Fox, and all of these wonderful things that Master Spa, which is a Christian-based company, just does, because they believe 100% in giving back, and that's what we do at Spas and More too.
Again, now good. I wanted that to be near the end where we do our faith-based devotionals, because when she told me that extra nugget, I was like, there's so many reasons why this partnership just is absolutely perfect. I love it. Again, Spas and More, located for you in the Sunset Hills area off of Old Gravois, right there near Ronning Road. Remember them. Ask them any questions, or as I did with Jim, take your family in and have everybody look around. And, again, find what's right for you. Ask different questions. We've talked a lot today about cold plunges. We've talked about the saunas. We talked about the spas, the swim spas. Find something that works for you. And also follow them on social media at Spas and More STL, or go to their website, spasandmorestl.com. So September, the month of September, the entire month of September. All right. So think about that from a giving back standpoint, but there's something done every day. You don't have to wait till September that where they are giving from the swim spas $100 from that. But the entire month of September is a very big giving aspect. So April and September. So if you want to be a part of that, if you have to wait a little bit, she also talked about the financing for 6 months. So there is an option for you. Just don't put it off any longer. Find what works for you, and then try not to be in the trauma and the feelings that you have anymore. There's just so many levels. If you are thinking from head to toe, this is bothering me, that's bothering me, trust me when I tell you, your life will change when you start to incorporate this. We are getting one, honey. I'm glad you're listening at some point, or if he's not, I'm going to take this, because someone said, have you chosen your yet? And I said, well, I haven't. I just have to make sure he agrees with the one that I like. But now she's opened up my mind more. If we can get that coloring, then there we go. We'll pull the trigger. I do love, though, the one that has the roof, the key, the turn of the key, and how easy that can be. So it might be between those two. Angie, welcome aboard. We are thrilled to have you.
Oh, I'm so excited about this. This is wonderful.
Thank you. And looking forward to getting to know Dad and Brian a little bit more. So go in and say hi to the crew. And again, if you get one, I want to see how it changes your life. Okay, so Angie, we ask everybody at the end of every show, which one of these books is what they're feeling that you or the world needs to have freedom from. So 100 Days to Freedom books, they're devotionals. This is that faith-based aspect. From fear and anxiety, that's one. From shame, from overeating, anger, or depression. What do you think we need breaks from?
My personal one is overeating.
Okay.
That's been my journey since January, is overcoming my food habits and getting myself into a healthier lifestyle.
Oh, I love it. She just gave me a chill. I love it. Again, hop on board with us. We're taking 100 Days to Freedom from overeating when we return.
Carol House has the furniture you're dreaming of.
For big family gatherings, for entertaining friends, or just hanging out.
For working from home or resting after work.
For kids growing up or young adults moving out.
Whether you're updating your first home, your next home, or your dream home.
Whatever the reason you're shopping, we have the furniture you're dreaming of at Carol House.
Because you like nice things.
And welcome back. We're going to do our devotional and just a couple more things about something that's coming up next week that Angie wants you to know about as well. Anybody else have any questions or comments before we wrap up live? Drop them in real quick for us. Otherwise, you can always hit #replay and we can always answer your question, of course, later. So this is Say Goodbye to Excuses, Angie. It's day 34 of 100 Days to Freedom. Great devotionals from Stephen Arterburn. This one's from overeating. You can't worship two gods at once, loving one one God, you'll end up hating the other. Adoration of one feeds contempt for the other. This is Matthew 6, verse 24. So life presents us with many options to excuse or justify our bad habits with food. Scarcity of knowledge, time, resources can become a crutch for why we do not follow the way we know would lead to success. Our excuses never bring satisfaction or move us closer to our goals. Igniting the fire of true change can certainly be a challenge, but we must be willing to be creative and diligent to overcome the barriers to our healing. And one of those ways is to stop using excuses. Jesus did not sugarcoat the message of following God. He didn't say it would always be easy. The call to serve only one God means we have to decide who we want to be and who or what we want to call our God. Our excuses get in the way of our long-term mental, physical, spiritual health. Overeating or eating foods that are not healthy comes down to poor planning, choosing other priorities over your own health. When we say goodbye to our excuses, we're saying that we are prioritizing our health in regard to our eating habits. We're saying yes to taking responsibility for what goes into our body, and we're saying yes to God's call to steward the gifts that He has given us, in particularly the gift of our body. You only have one. You got to take care of it. Charles Swindoll said, we are all faced with a series of great opportunities, brilliantly disguised as impossible situations. Billy Graham said, the will of God cannot take us where the grace of God cannot sustain us. And what you are is God's gift to you. What you become, ooh, I like this. Ooh, I got to chill, is your gift to God. I'm going to say that again. What you are is God's gift to you. What you become is your gift to God. Here's your prayer for today. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this gift of life. Thank you for giving me choices and the ability to learn about what is healthy. Help me to deal in reality and truth, and help me to make choices that move me toward that good health, and help me to let go of the excuses that I've been using. Thank you, Lord. Amen. That help a little bit?
Yes, very much so.
All right, good. I love it. We haven't had this one chosen in a little while, so I'm glad we did. Okay, before we wrap up, Danielle just said, what is the most effective sauna for detoxification? Dry with rocks or infrared?
Infrared.
There you go. And Danielle, I'm not sure if you signed on late, but we did break down a little more in depth for you. So maybe go back and watch the show. Probably about a half hour or so ago, we talked about the difference between wet sauna and infrared. For me, from everything that you said, it sounds like the movement needs to go to infrared, period.
Very much so. I mean, even so much now that firefighters are using infrared saunas in their firehouses to help them detox after fighting a fire, to help get the toxins that they have breathed in, getting that out of their system.
Absolutely. All right, before we wrap up, hold on. Scott Schusler just said, Angie is such a positive person. I love being around her. Yay! I love it. I love how we all combine together. You have an event coming up next week.
Yes. So next weekend, we have one of our largest sales of the year going on at the St. Charles Convention Center. We'll have about 40 hot tubs, swim spas on display, as well as cold plunges and saunas. The great thing about doing this fundraiser, this sale, we do it at the St. Charles Convention Center 3 times a year.
Okay.
And we use that as a fundraiser for the Kauffman Fund, which helps local veterans in need.
Oh.
So for every hot tub we sell, we donate $50. For every swim spa we sell, we donate $100, all to the Kauffman Fund, which helps veterans locally.
Fantastic. So that's not this weekend, but next weekend?
Next weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m., Saturday 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Sunday 10 to 5 at the St. Charles Convention Center in the South Hall.
Wonderful. I mean, again, they're doing incredible work. They have been for a long time. They've been there for our area, and now they're just continuing to give back. So let's give back with them. She said, thank you. Okay, I'll go back and listen. Yes, Danielle. And then we'll get you hooked up with Angie so that you can get one for you and your family. Excited to have you on board. You'll see much more of her and her family. Again, one more time, if you are just tuning in, welcome them aboard. Spas and more, part of the Real Monica Adams Show. And we'll be talking a lot about this over the coming year with regards to your wellness. We talked about eating healthy. You're going to love tomorrow's show. Chef Qui Tran, you should know that name. He is a rock star in our area from a food standpoint. His family has owned My Lee for 40 years in Brentwood, and then he opened Noodle House in Creve Coeur in 2017, and then on Del Mar back in 2019. Tomorrow, we're going to make some spring rolls with some beef in it. We're also going to get, a lot of people want to get his fish sauce. We're going to get it, and we're going to pass it along to you. the fish sauce, the peanut sauce. We'll make a chicken salad, and we'll make these wonderful spring rolls. So that's going to be our food segment tomorrow. And the reason we're doing it tomorrow instead of Friday is because we have our big fashion show, our big makeover show at NCJW, which is in the Creve Coeur area at 295 North Lindbergh. We have our before and after models. By the way, Danielle, who's asking questions, is one of them. Danielle, Kim, looking forward to seeing you. Hayden, one of our interns, Barb and Ann. And then the people who work at NCJW, the resale shop, they said we want to do some of our staff picks. So you're going to see a lot of people. There's probably going to be about 10 or 11, 12 different models. And I use the model term lightly. And I do that because a lot of people are like, I'm not a model. No, it's you wanting to be the best version of you. So we're taking you as you walk in as the world knows you, and then having the ladies and gentlemen at the resale shop saying, ooh, I think you would look great in this. So that's going to be Friday morning, 9 a.m. So don't look for us at 7, 9 a.m., our big makeover show. So some exciting things to come for the rest of the week. Love you all. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. Thank you again to Angie and Spas and More. Keep those questions coming in throughout the day. And more importantly, hop in and tell them thanks for being a part of our show. And thank you to you as well. Remember what we ask you to do. Go out in the world, introduce yourself to somebody new, and be kind.